Hello Star Citizens, Buzzkiller here, and welcome back to the Dual Joystick Setup series. In this video, I'll be going over my recommended dual Virpil Constellation Delta Bindings for Star Citizen Alpha 3.7. Before we get started, this video is primarily intended for people who have used my bindings in the past and know how to import my bindings into both Star Citizen and Joy-to-Key. For those of you that don't know how to import bindings, I'll be releasing a video for the series entitled Star Citizen Importing and Exporting Bindings. For those of you that want to know more about my methods, I'll be releasing a video called Dual Virpil Delta Binding Theory. Unfortunately, as of the time of this recording, neither of those videos have been released. So for those of you that need help, make sure to check my Dropbox for the README files and additional notes. The link to all my files, including the README, exported bindings, charts, Joy-to-Key configuration, and others, will be in the description of this video. Now, let's get started. The biggest control change to Alpha 3.7 was the removal of hover mode. For those of you that played 3.6, you know that hover mode was pretty much a buggy mess, and it made landing in atmosphere extremely difficult. I personally like the mode, and I was kind of hoping that they would fix it in 3.7, but instead it seems they've removed it completely, and replaced it with a new system called Proximity Assist. And that's supposed to slow down your ship inputs automatically when you get near obstacles. They've also given us a new button binding that, when pressed, manually rotates your ship VTOL thrusters from the vertical takeoff and landing position to the horizontal flight position and back. For ships equipped with VTOL thrusters, this allows the power of the main thrusters to be directed where it's needed most. In the current build, most ships can still hover fine without engaging the VTOL mode, though this will likely be corrected in the future. Now, let's look at the changes to my bindings for Alpha 3.7. Looking at the chart, you'll notice that I've updated the categories and color scheme of Legend. This should make finding specific functions easier. Basic flight control is black, navigation and thruster functions are green, weapon and defenses are red, targeting is orange, power is dark blue, camera is light blue, auxiliary ship systems are purple, communications are brown, and everything else that doesn't fall into a category is gray. Control-wise, I've had to make a lot of changes to fit in the new functions. First off, I've gotten rid of the shield adjustment functions on the right stick. Due to the long delay in shield charging, it takes several seconds for direction changes to take effect, which makes adjusting shields more of a liability than advantage in combat. So instead of taking up valuable real estate on the joystick, I instead use the number pad on the keyboard to make any adjustments I need prior to battle. The shield controls took up the entire R2 hat switch, and getting rid of them gave me a lot of room to add not only the new VTOL function, which I added to the center click, but also some other useful functions. Some of the other functions I added were head tracking toggle to the up button, and head tracking calibrate to the down button. This can be useful for situational awareness during precision maneuvers, especially when flying a larger ship with low maneuverability. On the left button, I added the chat window toggle function. Chat text can quickly cover up your left status panel in the HUD, making it hard to see your current shield and hull damage states. On the right button, I added the Comlink app toggle for Mobiglass. Again, having chat and the damage display overlapping each other can make reading chat difficult at times as well, so pulling up the Mobiglass can be the only way to read an important chat message. It's also useful for when it comes time to call ATC for takeoff or landing clearance. I also added a few secondary functions using the modifier. Modified up is eject. Of course, I added a double tap function to make sure you don't trigger this accidentally. On the modified down button, I added self-destruct. The modified center click is used to exit the seat. Not a super critical function, but it's a nice thing to have since I've set up the joystick control for basic FPS movement as well. And this way, you rarely have to touch the keyboard. And that about wraps up the changes for Alpha 3.7. Once again, a link to my Dropbox with all the files you need can be found in the description of the video below. You'll also find a link to the other videos in this series. If you run into problems, make sure to read the README file fully, as well as any additional notes for the Virpil deltas. If you don't find a solution, feel free to comment below and I'll try to help you out as best I can. As usual, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. This has been Buzzkiller, and I'll see you in the verse.